Public meetings and public records are a big part of what we do in reporting, so let's take a look at them for a second. Part of the rationale for journalists and the importance of journalists is this check and balance system that we have in our government. And journalism as the fourth estate is intended to check the other branches of government. So to do that, we need access to those who are in power at the point that they're making decisions and providing information. That means that we've put into place state and federal laws to provide access to both public meetings and public records. In the meeting case, they're called sunshine laws, and in the records case, they're called open record laws. Now, it's important to note that these are not just for journalists. This is for the public across the board. So anyone has the same access as an individual that a reporter has. It's just that we access these things more often. We do go to a lot of government meetings. So, there's reporters who are assigned to attend the school board meetings, the city council meetings, the public works meetings, all of these things. And based on this Open Meetings Act is how we're allowed to do that. So this requires the public bodies in Ohio to take official action, conduct all deliberation on official business only in open meetings where the public may attend and observe. So you'll note they have to provide an advance notice to the public where and when the meeting is going to take place. They have to take full and accurate minutes of all the meetings, and those minutes have to be made available to the public. Now, there is an exception to that. There is a way to close meetings. It's called executive session. So if you're ever in a meeting and you're covering it and they say, we're going to adjourn for executive session, they have to give a reason as to why they do that. And the reasons have to revolve around personnel issues, pending legal action. Those are the two main times that they'll do it. So it's important that they not take any other votes or make decisions or any other discussions during executive session. Now, of course, it's very hard to guarantee that. And there have been many a case where journalists have challenged an executive session that has taken place because not a sufficient reason hasn't been given. In fact, the Columbus Dispatch went all the way to court to challenge Columbus City Schools, who they were closing meetings that they felt should not have been closed. So only a public body is required to comply with the open meeting laws, and this is how the Open Meeting Act defines a meeting. It's any prearranged gathering of a public body by a majority of its members to discuss the public's business. So, you're going to go to these meetings. We'll actually do this in class, and we have them here on campus. The Board of Trustees meet, different committees meet, and so we go, we report on who's there, we report on what happens. Again, remember, it's only what happens at the meeting that's significant, not just that the meeting occurs. But this is where a lot of decisions are made and where the public can come and speak directly to their elected representatives and be put on the record. And so they're a really important part of democracy as we know it. Now, another facet of this is this open records law, and you can see from this court case from 1860, this is the ruling that determined that the records should be open, that the people who make these records as part of government are actually just custodians of the people's business. And so as long as they're doing business on behalf of the people should have access to that. Here's just an example of some public records that you may find. The picture here is of a birth certificate, but there's all kinds of government records, birth records, real estate records, courts, different bankruptcies, judgments. Anyone who holds a professional license, be it a hairdresser or a plumber, they all have, those are all public records. So, one of the things you can look to do as part of your reporting is to think about how these public records might serve you. One, certainly looking up people's criminal past if they have them, sex offenders, and I've given you in another lecture a variety of databases that you'll be able to look up and see this information. But you can even start with state, county, or federal officials looking up birth records or a variety of different real estate holdings, whatever that might be, and that can certainly provide you with amazing resources and background for your stories.